Hey everybody, Tommy here with TFL Bike, and today we are taking a look at something super unique. This is the brand new BMW CE-04. This is a fully electric scooter with some pretty mind-blowing stats. Let's get right into it. The CE-04 is one of the coolest bikes to hit the market this year, and it's really going to start rolling out next year in large quantities. But take a look at the overall design of this scooter. It's very retro, very 1980s, futuristic. I think it's one of the coolest looking machines out there, and it offers some really unusual features as well. So let's start out with the styling. There's a couple of different colors available. This one is the white with the black contrasting accents, but you can tell that it is still very much a scooter. You have a pass-through here. Not an entire pass-through because the battery actually lives underneath the unit, but you do have a flat place to put your feet, and the seat height is extremely low. We're looking at a 30.7-inch seat height. So this is a machine which is going to be really easy for someone to ride. Of course, it's fully electric. There's no transmission. There's nothing to really worry about in terms of mechanicals. It should be a very simple get on, ride, do your commute, and have a great time on it. So numbers-wise, because that's of course the question everyone's going to ask first. BMW is predicting a 75-mile range and a top speed of 75 miles an hour, 75. Now the motor is rated at over 40 horsepower. It's a 42 horsepower electric motor, and the battery, which as I mentioned is mounted underneath, is rated at 8.9 kilowatt hours. So what that means is that this bike is perfect for a lot of people's commutes. If your commute is, 50, 60 miles, this machine should have the range to do so. And if you're looking to go on the highway, top speed 75, you should be able to keep up with most traffic. Now the CE-04, the 04 is in reference to the equivalent CCs if this was a gasoline bike. So they're saying, essentially, if this had an internal combustion engine, it'd be the equivalent of about 400 cc's, but BMW is saying 0 to 30 miles an hour in like 2 seconds, so it should be pretty fun to ride, and made even more fun with some of the dynamic ride modes. Now, of course, you're probably thinking, it's a fairly large scooter, and it sure is. The curb weight on this unit, 509 pounds, so it is not a light bike, but it does offer some pretty impressive storage. Now, a lot of scooters will offer under-seat storage. In the case of the CE-04, you have a cubby, once again located under the seat, but accessed a little different than you might typically expect. So there's a little button here, a little hidden button, push that, and this lockable storage compartment opens up. And right now, it's currently holding some of the accessories that come with the CE-04, like the charging cable, and you're welcome to keep that in there. But this cubby extends the width of the entire scooter. You can see it goes all the way through. Easily put your helmet in there, easily store some groceries or whatever you may be hauling. That is a really useful feature. And this one, of course, comes with a standard charger. Now, depending on the model, you can get level 1 or level 2 chargers included. And the charging times are really fairly impressive. They're saying under 2 hours for a full charge of this unit. Because of the level 2 charging capability. That 8.9 kilowatt hour battery, to put that in perspective, a Tesla's like 100 kilowatt hours, the new BMW i7, 101. So it's pretty small relative to car terms, pretty large relative to motorcycle or scooter terms. Now, to access the charge port, you've got this little cubby here underneath the handlebars, and you can see it's got your J1772 charge port, plugging it at home on either level 1 or level 2. And enjoy the affordability of charging on electricity. All right, now let's move on to some of the other great things when we look on the right side of the scooter. So these wheels are fantastic. It looks like a steel design. It's actually an aluminum. Of course, you have that single swing arm design. It's a belt drive here, and I just love the look of this. And you even have that same visual appeal here in the front. Now, if you look closely, you do actually have spokes, and you've got the twin discs there on either side, but it gives it a really cool profile. Once again, kind of retro futuristic, which is exactly what I love about this little bike. Now, the gauge cluster on this unit is pretty impressive. So let me exit this. You've got a couple of different screens here, and you can kind of alternate and configure it as you see fit. So first of all, we have the charge state screen. So you can see we're sitting at 78% state of charge. One thing I love about this is they actually give you a percent state of charge. You're not constantly guessing on it, but you can change the different modes. We've got eco, rain, road, and dynamic. And this unit has a dynamic mode because of an option, which we'll talk about in a second. But You've got your estimated range there. That'll change depending on your mode and your riding style. As I understand it, we also have the outside temperature here, speed, and then your odometer there up on the right side of the screen. We also have on this unit, look at this, heated grips and a heated seat, which is nice on a scooter. Very simple activation to ride this bike. So you got your right grip, twist that to accelerate, and then you've got, you know, brakes just like a standard scooter, and then you even have a reverse. So a lot of the BMW bikes, you'll actually use a starter motor to back up. On this machine, you push the reverse button, you twist the grip, and you can you know, drive backwards, which is pretty cool. You got your standard start-stop button here. You need to push the brake to activate the vehicle, and then push button start here in the center of the unit. Now, another cool feature which I want to showcase is something that the R18 has, which is, of course, their large cruiser. If you push this little button down here located to the left of the handlebars, this little cubby will pop open, and we have a USB-C port and a air-cooled cubby for your phone, so it will actually expand out and you can fit, I'm told, the largest of iPhones in there, plug it in, and it's air-cooled, so it should do a good job of keeping your stuff nice and cool on those hot summer days. BMW Motorrad, make a life, very cool. I love the quality of the screen. I think it looks fantastic. It's really well integrated here. Now, we do have a very small windshield. It is possible to upgrade to a larger windshield. In Europe, they actually get this super cool orange tinted one. Now, they can't sell it here because of road regulations, but I think that's going to be a pretty common mod to these CE-04s. But what I love about all the BMW products is they feel extremely high quality, everything you touch. This little selector here, right, is how you control your central screen. You've got menu settings. You can go through different trips there. Onboard computers. Navigation here. You got media, telephone, and all sorts of different settings. So it's kind of like a mini iDrive, but on a scooter. It's just really, really cool. Very futuristic looking handlebars, BMW Motorrad there. And this one does have the key. Of course, it's remote keyless start, which is very, very nice. Yeah, I think it's a good looking machine. We also have the optional center stand. Even the way the side stand is incorporated is very well thought out, right? Like, you can tell there was a lot of thought given to the design, to the aerodynamics of the side stand. The motor is located here, and then of course, belt drive to the rear end. And then we have the single shock in the back here. The seat is an optional seat with the comfort backrest. You can get it with either this little hump or a completely flat surface, and you can ride two up on the CE-04. This is a large machine, guys. This is not a small little unit. If you can't tell in the pictures, it certainly has quite the presence. Now let's talk about some of the specs here. So the base price, $11,795. So it is not super cheap, but you do get a lot for your money. This one is that light white, which I talked about, and it has a $1,600 option, which includes the level 2 charging cable, ABS Pro, which will work when you're leaned over. It's got Ride Modes Pro, which gives you the dynamic mode. It's got TPMS sensors, adaptive headlight, and that heated seat. And then the comfort package for $500 gives you the heated grip and the backrest comfort seat. The center stand is $115, destination $495, and the total price, as you see it equipped, $14,570. So you certainly pay a lot for the scooter, but it does give you a lot of design and pretty decent range for an electric scooter, 75 miles. Now, is that enough for your daily commute? You're going to have to drop me a comment in the section below. No DC fast charging on this unit currently. We'll see if that becomes an option. And it's also worth noting that in Europe, they get a 20 horsepower version, but we only get the larger 40 horsepower version, and that's for licensing, right? You do need a motorcycle endorsement to ride the CE-04 because of the power output and, of course, the top speed of 75 miles an hour. Well, guys, let me know what you think in the comment section below. As always, this has been Tommy with TFL Bike. We'll see you on the next video.